So now in part B, they want us to sketch a slope field for the differential equation on the axis. Now notice that here the y-axis is what we normally know as the y-axis, and the t-axis is here. So now we're looking to find a slope field for the actual function of y. And we're going to refer to our answer in part A to get these slope values. So what we know is that when y is 0, when y is equal to 0, dy dt, or the slope, is equal to 2. So anywhere that y is 0, I'm going to have a slope of 2. So y is 0 here, here. You can see me highlighted it in purple. These are all the places where y is going to be 0. And I need to have a slope of 2. So I'm going to eyeball this, right? I know from this first point, if I go up 2 and over 1, that puts me here. So slope of 2 is going to be something like this, right? But I don't want that whole line right there. What I only want is part of that line. So I'm going to erase this part right here, and even erase that part right there, and that's going to be a slope of approximately 2. It doesn't have to be perfect. And so then at 1, I kind of eyeball it. I look up here, that's up 2 over 1, and I'm going to put another line. And I'm going to keep doing this wherever y is equal to 0. It really doesn't matter what t is as long as y is equal to 0. And we know similarly that when y equals 1, dy dt is going to be 1.5, or we can say 3/2, or up 3 over 2. So that's going to be slightly, 1.5 is slightly smaller than 2. So whenever y is equal to 1, which is going to be all these points right here, I'm going to make a slope that's approximately 1.5. It's just a little bit more shallow, but it's not exactly 1. It's a little bit more shallow than 2. All right, then a slope of 2. So we just kind of eyeball this. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we keep going with this. When y equals 2, which is going to be all these points right here, when y equals 2, the slope is going to be 1. So now I just go up 1 over 1. I kind of eyeball it. It's slightly more shallow than 1.5. So I make all these little dashes there. And then the same thing for 3. 3 is going to be 1/2. So again, more shallow whenever y, again, it doesn't depend on t. It's just whenever y is equal to 0 or equal to 3. And then here's the deal at 4. At 4, the slope is actually 0. So this is going to be a horizontal line. And it's a slope field, so we're just making these small little dashes. Right? And then at 5, it slips to a negative 1/2. So negative 1/2 here. Again, we're just eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be perfect. At 6, it's going to be negative 1. So I go a little bit deeper with my slope. And then at 7, it's going to be negative 2. So a little bit deeper yet. And you know, an AP grader is not going to be looking at this and measuring your slopes, but they are going to be looking for patterns. So we can kind of see the pattern that's developing here. So there is our slope field.